In this video, I will go over how to use the map editor tool. You can open it through the window menu and you'll see there's a map edit and a prefab maker option for each of these. The prefab maker is here to give you a quick way to generate prefabs from models. So you just tell it your choose your source folder. So for example, it might be this models folder and the destination could be wherever, for example, inside temp. And you press process and it will just quickly generate a bunch of prefabs from models. The reason for this is because the map editor can only work with prefabs. Right, and then after you've got your prefab folder, you can just choose it through this button here. So for example, I just chose prefabs there, which is this folder here. And as you can see, it basically duplicates this structure from here. Right. This button over here is just to quickly expand and collapse all these. So if you've got the bunch open, you can just press it to quickly collapse it again. The button over here is to just scale your thumbs. You can press this button over here to refresh them. And then of course there's settings. I'll show you how the settings works in a sec. So the important part of this tool, or the use of it, is to make it easy to quickly place objects in the scene without having to drag and drop them. So you can simply click and it will appear like this. You can start placing it down. You can also quickly rotate it with the spacebar like this. There's also a bunch of other shortcuts which I'll list on the website. For example, if I want to have finer stepping, I can hold my control button. Let's take the walls, for example. So as you can see here, it's just jumping between halfway points of these tiles. But if I hold control, I can get onto this line. So that would allow me to, for example, align it here with this floor tile over here. And all these objects that are being placed are just normal objects. There's no special components or anything on them, so you can still just edit them normally like you would. And you can still go back to this editor and it would still work in here as well. Just one thing. If this editor is on, this button over here, and you can't actually click on anything, then just click on the normal transform button there, the move tool, to select something, and then you can click this and this tool will be active again, and now you can use all its shortcuts and the way to move things. The way you know this tool is active is of course this blue grid and the little circle here over the transform tool. Gizmo. Yeah, so oh, and by the way, if anyone knows why this happens, like why can't I actually select anything while this tool is active, please let me know, because I can't find a solution to this problem. Anyway, so the settings. Here you can change what the rotation stepping is, for example. So now with 90 degrees, it only jumps 90 degrees, or if I say 30, then it will be 30 degrees. Of course, there's other shortcuts here as well. So, for example, I could say 90 there. And if I hold control, it will actually snap half of those values. So just check all the shortcuts because they're quite useful. And of course, you can change those shortcuts under the shortcuts manager. If you go down to apply map edit, there's all the shortcuts as well, so you can change them if you need to. Alright, so here you can change what the grid looks like, its colors. This one over here will change the how light these icons are. So if I say 5, for example, and I regenerate them, then you can see they're much brighter. Or you can just turn off lights totally. So if they are too dark, you can just bring up the intensity of the light. Oh yeah, keep prefab link. It's kind of important. As you can see here, all these that are white, they don't have their links to their prefabs any longer. So you want to probably have that on whenever you want place new objects. And also down here you will see is a spot to actually drop an object. That is to tell it what the container or the parent object should be. So you probably want to set that as well, else it's just going to be dumped in the hierarchy root here. So now if I place new objects, they will come up inside of there and they will still have their link to their prefab object. Alright, so I think that's basically all there is to this tool. It's really simple, but it should be useful for tile-based and modular type art.